Hello. And good and bad, right? Yeah, thanks, Everett. I also like the new music. Shout out to DJ Joe Green for finding that for me. It's on the Golden Knights intro, and I thought it was great. You have to like the fact that they get the point out of the end of that. Like, that very well could have ended with no points, and the climb is much larger at 4 than it is at 3. So I'm not, that distraught over it. But the game itself, how we got to it, what I felt like over the course of the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks, doesn't make me feel a lot better. Like, when you look at the schedule and what's coming up, and you understand that there's 8 games, and I know that Eichel's in there, Stone's in there, Pacioretty's in there, and I'll get to Stone and I'll get to Pacioretty. But the fact is, like, that's an Edmonton team on the road that isn't very good, that they should be able to beat without any question if you're supposed to make the playoffs. Like, that's a game you have to win. And in many ways, that's a game you absolutely cannot be behind by 2 going into the third. And to get even worse, 2 of Vegas's goals were complete and utter flukes that will not happen with any consistency at all. So yeah, again, take the point. The way that they played in that third, I thought was excellent. Where the fuck was that the entire night? Like, that's my first question. But like, as a whole, that is the type of period, that third period, that it's like, that's what you want to see more of. That's what you need to see more of. But the biggest piece of the whole thing, and we cannot avoid it any further. And yes, I know a lot of people are going to want to pick on something that I'm not going to say right now. And I will talk about that, and we will talk about that a lot more tomorrow when we have a better expert on that. But it's not that. The biggest problem that this team has is what? Special teams. The special teams this season has been crap. Crap. Not good enough at all, period. Ever. The entire season. Not one time this season has it performed at a level that it needs to help this team get to the postseason. That's as simple as I can put it. The power play is an absolute and utter abomination. Abomination. It's the best word I have for it. It is a joke. They switch power play coaches. They've gotten players back. They got an elite power play weapon. They've shored up the entries, which even that makes it even worse to me. Like, if entries were an issue, okay, I get that that's hard. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but they don't even struggle with entries, and the power play still blows. Completely blows. Huge problem. Today, that game is set up on a tee for you. It's there if you can score a power play goal. Just one. Any of the times that they had the opportunity, and obviously those 2 opportunities in the third period are the biggest pieces. Like, you have to find a way to get one. But then the part that's bugging me even more beyond that, because going into this season, I expected the power play to be crap. They did not make enough changes to fix it. I understand that personnel can help it, but the fact is, until they completely overhaul what they're trying to do and what plan A is, their plan A is the same play that Vancouver scored on. But if that play's not there, they don't really have much of a plan. It's a concern for me. That's a different story. The bigger issue to me is penalty killing. What in the world happened to this team's penalty killing? They were elite a year ago. Like, historically good penalty killing. The year before, they were very good. Historically, through the history of the team, I said historically twice, they have been good. This has been a team that's very good at penalty killing. They played a passive penalty kill system under Gallant. It was good. They played an aggressive penalty kill system under Pete DeBoer. It was good. And I'm seeing no Riley Smith. And yes, that absolutely has a factor. But I go back into the beginning of this season. The plan in this season was to play players down the lineup more in the penalty kill. That was the plan. They cannot do it because these guys aren't good enough at it. Janmark, not very good at it. He's okay, but he's not that good at it. Stevenson is not as good as Carlson and Smith and Stone. They need to be playing these players that are very good at it. And I wonder what it would look like with Eichel out there, because it's bad enough that I'm just trying to find a way to grab a shorty, because that's the best case scenario at this point. On the back end, I don't know what got into Zach Whitecloud today. Just the worst I've seen him play in a long time. Usually steady Eddie. He was bad today. Couple of bad reads, couple of times where he gets muscled off the puck or out of the front of the goal. Just not good. And for the most part, like, that's a problem. You can't have it. You just can't have it. And the aggressive penalty kill, and this is the part that has freaked me out throughout all of this season, was it is very easy to see what you need to do. Very clear. If the puck is at the point, it goes to the half wall and then through. The Golden Knights open that lane every single time. And if they don't, then the defender has to come up and it opens the play underneath the goal. If you are set up properly, you are getting a good chance if you can make one solid saucer pass. One. And it might not even need to be that, but you probably need to get one down to the half wall. And probably not even against the stick. Sometimes it's against the stick. That's why I would say it needs to be a good little sauce pass. But for the most part, it's a problem. And then goalie, not good enough on the penalty kill. Just hasn't been. You need your goalie to bail you out over and over and over again on penalty kills. And again, like I said, I will get to the goalie. I will. I promise you I will get to the goalie. And again, I don't think that this is end of the world like I have in my little thing down here. One's fine. Like, you'll take your one. The plan on this road trip was 4. There's still a chance to get 4. If you can get 4, you get out of this fine. There's still a chance to now get 5. They're still in a position to do something here. Even 3 probably doesn't sink you. It does force a little bit more on the Kings having to blow a game. And, what they did against Chicago is a little bit concerning, knowing what they've got against Anaheim and Vancouver and Seattle coming up. And I think another Chicago, like, that is concerning. Okay. But you can't, go nuts over losing both points here. Like, they got the one. I would have probably been off the cliff had they not gotten any. And I really thought that's where we were headed. When I put the post up that said, do they think they're going to score? I really didn't. I did think that plus 650 in the intermission was a pretty good bet, and it ended up being okay. Vegas really needs Colorado to beat LA tomorrow. I am not so sure that it's going to go that easily. We'll see. Hopefully, we will see. But, here's the other issue. Before I get to it, I want to tell you that this Periscope and all Periscopes this season are brought to you by Conler & Associates CPAs. Today is April 12th. That means we are really close to Monday. The next time it's Monday, it's going to be tax day. And if you haven't done your taxes by then, that's bad. The government doesn't like that. So you should go to conlercpa.com, KONDLER CPA.com. And at that point, they will help you make sure you get more information to make sure that your taxes are not late. And if you miss Monday, you can still call them and they will probably still help you out. Okay, let's jump into this thing. Do you think missed cross-check was super bad? That's all that sticks out to me. I've seen a couple of other comments on the board about the cross-check. Whine a little bit more if you want that cross-check. Like, that is not a penalty. That play happens over and over and over and over in NHL games. It is not a check. It is a shove. It is specifically allowed in the rule book to take your stick with 2 hands separated and move a player out of the way. You cannot, with force, forcefully check, but you can shove. That's exactly what happened. I understand how far Eichel went. I think it's on Eichel that he's not strong enough on his skates right there. Looking at it from every single angle, it does not look like a forcible check in any way to me. Not to mention, that can't be the difference. Like, it just can't be the difference in the game anyway. The overtime was bad. The Golden Knights had 2 opportunities on loose pucks to get it, and they didn't even come close. Connor Garland skates from the circle, back up to the blue line, back down to the circle, and Vegas loses him. Can't happen. This has been a team that's been really good. really good in overtime this season and shootout. Today, it wasn't, and it hurt, and it's a point that they're going to maybe need. We will see. A lot of this is going to come down to LA. I think Dallas and Nashville are probably going to be a problem. Like, I don't like the chances. I just think there's too many home games for Nashville, despite it being against bad teams. I think Dallas is just going to find a way through their shit schedule and a lot of home games themselves to get themselves up to 98, 99, and it's going to come down to LA. It's LA or bust. And I know that LA looks at these, you look at LA's schedule and it's concerning because they don't play anybody good, but Vegas can win these games. They can win the games. The biggest piece of this game that I thought, okay, this is going to help, actually, I thought hurt the Golden Knights. I thought Max Pacioretty and Mark Stone hurt the Golden Knights today. Now, Mark Stone almost stole a goal. And if he puts that one in, I'm saying something completely different. Because one little play like that is why it can help you to get that opportunity to win that game. That would have been a big-time play if Mark Stone had made it. However, Mark Stone looked winded basically the entire game. He admitted to it after the game that he just didn't have his lungs the entire game. He basically, he said something like, I didn't feel good the entire game. I hope I feel better in the next game. Max Pacioretty, when injured, is not very good. Like, he's just not. Today, I thought he was bad. I did not think he had a good game at all. I understand why he's in the lineup. I thought the opportunity was there for him to rip one home on that power play. He missed it and rimmed it all the way out. That might be injury related. I don't know. I don't think those two players helped today. Hopefully, that is a step in the direction of them getting better. So I'm not that concerned about that. Let me just take a second to talk about this. Spot must go after the season, says Glenn. As of about a month and a half ago, Steve Spott does not coach the power play anymore. So what everyone's been yapping about, what everybody wants, and I still see his name way too often, it happened. They took power play duties away from Steve Spott. He is no longer the power play coach. It has never been clearer than it was on Sunday. Maybe it was Saturday. Maybe it was Monday. I think it was Monday. I don't know. The last time I was at a practice, it was Monday, yesterday. Last time I was there, they were running a power play drill, and it was very clear that it is not Steve Spott's job. It is now clearly Ryan Craig's job, and it has not changed, and it has not gotten better. It is probably, to me, on Pete DeBoer. If you want to pick a coach that has a problem, it's Pete DeBoer, because I think the system calls for what's going there. And I will be honest, I watched the power play on Monday, yesterday, with the same unit that we all thought, oh my God, here we go, Eichel, Pacioretty, and Stone. They didn't score at all on a group of penalty killers that isn't even good. Not even penalty killers for the Golden Knights. Like, it was bad because there is no plan. The plan of what they're trying to do, and I don't even necessarily know what their goal is. Like, what shot are they looking for? What opportunity are they looking for? What are they trying to do to these penalty killers? I'm not even sure I know the answer. And that's a problem for me. So I just wanted to say that. But back to Stone and Pacioretty. If Stone and Pacioretty needed a game to get going and get better, okay. That is what it is. You lost a point here. I'm not sure you get that point if you don't play Stone or Pacioretty, and now you need to play both of them moving, down the road in the next game or whenever. You're going to need them at 100%. Like, you absolutely need them somewhere close. You need them as close to 100% as you could possibly get. You need the timing back. You need the rhythm back. You need them to have some comfortability with all these different players. And that obviously they didn't have time for that, and they had to put him in there. And I thought Pacioretty was not very good against Arizona despite scoring. I thought he was actually worse today. I thought Stone was not very good in this game either. All right, we'll go to the elephant in the room. We need you to talk about Leonard now and not wait for McKenna. We will get a lot more in detail about Leonard tomorrow because McKenna is awesome and knows more about goalies than I will ever know or could potentially ever know, and that 99.99% of humans will ever know. But I will tell you this. Robin Leonard wasn't good enough today. Robin Leonard did not look like the healthy, dominant Robin Leonard that we have seen in the past. Robin Leonard looked like he was flopping around quite a bit. I don't really understand what happened in the overtime goal. Like, there's a push off that's supposed to push him over to the right, and it just slipped out from underneath him. It almost looked to me like his skate blade is dull, that he's supposed to push off, and it just didn't dig into the ice like it's supposed to. Not good. We've had skate blade issues with him in the past. Like, he made a couple of good saves to save the game, late in the game. They probably lose the game by, in regulation if he doesn't make those 2 saves. So I can't put everything on him because he did keep them in the game enough to get 1, but he doesn't look comfortable in there. He doesn't look like the guy that they bought, that they should have had, that they feel like they should have. He doesn't look healthy, to be completely honest. He does not look healthy to me. And because of it, I think you might have to go to Thompson. I really do. I really feel like this might be an opportunity that the team could use it, that you can throw this kid back in there and see if he can't ride you all the way these last 8 games and find a way to win 6 of them. That's kind of where I'm at here. I think that might be the best option. And what, they have 85, is that right? 85 points. So yeah, 6 gets you 97. 6 out of 8, and 6 out of 8 is going to be tough because there's some tough games. Can they win them both? These next 2 would be nice. Washington's all of a sudden playing real well. I don't like that San Jose game at all. Watch what they did against Nashville today. They're defending. They are defending. Like, this is laughable. Those were routine saves. Come on now. Come on. Like, that's ridiculous. If you're talking about the ones down the stretch, like, come on. That's absurd. But like I said, he has to be better. Like, there's no debating that. He absolutely must be better than what he has been. And it's clear that the entire organization's well aware that they're going to need excellent goaltending down the stretch. They lost the goaltender battle today. And I didn't think Demko was all that good. He wasn't bad, but he wasn't all that good. So, to me, you might look at it. You might have to look at going to Thompson in the next one. The next thing I want to talk about was spray and pray. The Golden Knights offense still reliant on spray and pray. Thanks to whoever gave me that term. I'm happy we have it now. They put the puck out to the blue line and just kind of fling it towards the goal. And then whoever's skating in that direction, hopefully it goes off of them and in. That's not offense. Like, yes, they will go in. And sometimes you will get both of them. Yeah, if it was you, thanks, Seth. If it was you that gave me that term. They're going to go in from time to time. But you're not winning a Stanley Cup doing that. And really, to be completely honest, you're not winning 6 of 8 down the stretch doing that. It's not going to happen. So that's concerning to me. This is funny, too. Did Eichel ever score an important goal for us? Didn't he score a game winner against Ottawa in a game that they probably should have lost? Doesn't he have like 11 goals in 20 games or something? Like, there are things to pick on for Leonard or for Eichel, but that's ridiculous to say he doesn't score a big goal. Like, what do you want from the guy? Like, he scores a bunch. I don't know. I don't like that. But for me, like, Dadonov was driving offense today at a level that we just haven't seen, and I'm not really sure where that came from. I don't know if that's going to continue. If it does, that would be fantastic. But as a whole, like, Marchessault and Karlsson, it didn't feel like they were playing their style of game at all today. There's very little passing in the offensive zone, trying to loosen up that defense and make plays. They're basically just, can we get somebody back to the point and 2 guys in between and hope? And to me, the hope idea is just not what you want. You have Max Pacioretty, you have Mark Stone, and I know I said they didn't play very well, but they also have Dadonov and Eichel and Pietrangelo and Theodore and Martinez and, Janmark, whoever else you want to say, Marchessault, Karlsson. I don't know if I said them already. Wow. You have players who can play this game. You can play hockey. You can pass the puck around and take risks. Make passes that are more dangerous. Now, they made a very dangerous pass today. It cost them a goal. It was a horrible pass. It was Keegan Kolesar making the play. Maybe him throw it in deep. I don't like his chances of making elite passes. And in that case, I actually don't have any problem with what Petrangelo's doing. He's trying to activate into the offense to give Kolizar an option. But I think Kolizar sees him and says, oh, that's the option I have to take, and makes a horrible pass. It goes the other way for a 2-on-1, and then Hutton couldn't have played it all that much worse. Hutton wasn't very good today either. It's just, to me, they're going to have to find a way, whether that's in the next 8 games or over the course of the offseason, to generate some sort of different style of offense. They have to be able to play hockey. It cannot be put the puck to the point and throw pucks on net. That's not hockey. Like, I understand that that is part of the game and that you can score that way and that is an option. But that's not what you do when you have an elite talent offense. You have elite talent offensive players. That's not what you do. That's not what they should be doing. And the Golden Knights do not have an elite tipper of the puck. They just don't. And so because of that, they have to find a different way. And I don't think it's going to happen in the next 8 games. I don't think there's time for them to really start activating defensemen and bringing forwards up into the high slot and doing different things. They're going to have to find a different way. And we'll see. If that means fire the coach, then so be it. If it means he can make a change and do it something differently, fine. I think they can utilize the talent that they have to do more. And then you see, like, you have Theodore, when he's down near the goal, both goals that he scored, he's down near the goal in the circle. When he's there, he's dangerous. He is dangerous. You need him closer to the goal. Yes, he can fling pucks through the traffic, and every once in a while, it just happens to go off of Alec Martinez and into the goal. But they have to be doing more to get those guys activated in the offense. Take advantage of the fact that you have a number of good defensive forwards and wingers. Even your centers are pretty good defensive, aside from Eichel. I don't think he's all that good defensively. Like, that's what I think they need to see more of. And yeah, like, if they could have Pavelski, sure. But Pavelski makes a lot of money. They cannot afford Pavelski. They cannot afford the team that they currently have. Like, that's a problem. And now they're in a position where there are not a lot of losses left, and it's going to be hard to get through these 8 games without a single injury. They've never made it through 8 games this season without an injury, and it will have to be 10. I don't know that that's all that likely either. So that's concerning. However, I'll end on the most positive thing that I can say today. Like, without question, the number one most positive thing you can say is this game should have been lost by the Golden Knights. They were not the better team through 40 minutes. They were probably not the better team, in my opinion, through 50 minutes. They probably should have lost the game. However, they never stop pushing. Even when the puck is not going in the net for them, when things aren't going their way, when power plays are sapping their emotion or momentum or whatever you want to call it, whatever it happens to be, they never stop throwing pucks at the net, trying to get things done. They never stop playing. And as the game moves on, you still feel it. Like, I felt like that entire third period. 2 goals is not too many. When they played Chicago, 3 goals was not too many. Like, it has felt that way all season long. When they pull the goalie, they are excellent, which is very odd because it's similar to a power play, and they're very good at that and very bad at the power play. So I don't know what to make of that. But this team doesn't quit, and they're not going to quit down the stretch here. Until they are mathematically eliminated, this team is going to have a chance. They can beat anybody. They can lose to anybody too. And that's concerning because the fact is, they've played 7 games in a row here against garbage, absolute garbage hockey teams. All teams that are not going to make the playoffs, most of which teams that don't even belong anywhere near the playoffs, bad hockey teams. And the Golden Knights have not, in my opinion, done enough to prove that they are going to go on a run afterwards. I just don't think it's happening. But you don't see quit in the way that they play. They usually do not come out flat in these games. They've scored the first goal in the last 5 before today. Even when they gave up the first goal in this game, they found a way to get themselves back in it by scoring later in the period. They went down again. They got themselves back in it. They went down again. They got themselves back in it. They are not going to quit. And that is a huge thing that it has to feel good looking at where we're headed down the stretch here, understanding the mountain that they have to climb. Like, this is a mountain. Just in the next 2 games, it is a mountain. They are playing significantly better hockey teams in the next 2 and 3 of the next 4 than what they do. Yes, this is fair. They absolutely did quit in the back end of that game at home. But once it's 5-1, I don't really care. 5-1 in the third period, not that concerned. It does happen. Here's for Thursday asking for Wiglaf. He is right here. Yes, he should make you feel better. He is fantastic. Had a nice bath earlier yesterday, I think, or maybe today. It was yesterday. We went on a nice long walk, and then he had a nice bath. And actually, you saw his face when I said that W word. I should not say that anymore because he gets very excited. Moving forward, Calgary is next, and then Edmonton. Start with Calgary. The Golden Knights stink there. We know that. The Golden Knights are very good in Edmonton or in Vancouver. They've been able to get to overtime each of the last 2 games, even though it's probably realistic that they probably should not have. But they did. They're not good in Calgary. That game has to be defense first. You cannot be thinking about scoring goals in that game. You have to be good through the neutral zone. You have to be physical in puck battles. You have to be able to match the way that they play. Golden Knights are in for it here. There's going to be a push straight out of the gate there. And actually, I think the Golden Knights got fortunate I think maybe it's fortunate that Calgary comes back and wins that game. I didn't get to watch any of it, to be honest. I was watching the other games, and then the Golden Knights game came on. But it was 3-1 going into the third for Calgary, and they went ahead and won that game down the stretch. I think if they would have lost that game, it would have been bad. And I disagree with this. I do not think Calgary is chilling. I think Calgary knows they have an opportunity to show the Golden Knights out of the door. Like, they have a chance here, and they want to do that because everybody, Calgary, Edmonton, Dallas, Colorado, you name it, every single team in the NHL would prefer LA in over Vegas, period. There's no debate there. No one except for LA wants LA or whatever. No, nobody wants whatever. I'm not sure what I'm trying to say. All I want to say here is this is an opportunity for Calgary to whack Vegas down. Swat them down. Take a chance. This is it. Vegas has to be ready for this game. It's going to have to be elite defending, and I think they're going to need great goaltending. And I would go to Thompson. I've been fine with going to Leonard. I thought he deserved the net after the game in Vancouver. I thought he was good in that game. Didn't look all that comfortable, but I thought with more net time, he will get better. I thought he looked a little bit better in the Arizona game, but for the most part, there wasn't enough challenge against him. This one, I didn't think he looked good enough to give him the net again. I would doubt that that's going to happen. I think that they're going to go right back to Leonard because I think they're going to ride Leonard until the season's over because I believe that they feel like that's the best thing we can do. But yeah, they have the bodies to match up properly despite it being a road game. If this was a road game 2.5 weeks ago without the bodies that the Golden Knights have now, I'd be a lot more concerned. Now, I'm not all that concerned with any of the 3D pairs on the ice against the higher end lines that Calgary has. I'm not really all that worried about what's going to happen with the better lines or the middle lines or whatever for the Golden Knights. I don't particularly like Vegas's fourth line. I think Janmark is doing everything on his own there. Not so sure what's going to happen there. I don't know how you can fix that other than give them less minutes, but we'll see. And then Edmonton over the weekend, early game. Maybe you can catch them on the early game. I think that's a benefit. That's not a normal 7:00 game. You won't have quite the same crowd there. I think that crowd's going to be into it. They want to smack Vegas down as well. These are tough games, but I will say this. If you're going to get these games down the stretch and you're going to find a way to get 6 out of 8, if that's the case, these are a good start to that. Thursday can be a good start to that. Go in there, play a good game, win that game, whatever it takes to win that game, overtime or regulation, doesn't make a difference. Find a way to win that game. And if that happens, it's going to be a springboard to move forward. They've had some springboards. They need more of them. They need one now. This is a big opportunity, but you cannot. I don't think they can drop 3 points out of the next 4. I think that would be fatal. I think you could drop 1. I think you might be able to drop 2, but you cannot drop 3. So losing the next game would be crucial if they cannot get that done in regulation. And to me, like, you're going to need more out of Stone. You're going to need more out of Pacioretty. You're going to need more out of all the defensive players, and then you need more out of your goalie. And I'm not expecting the special teams to be any better. Don't take penalties. Don't take penalties, and then just try to score off the rush on the power play or do the spray and pray on the power play. That's it. Thanks again to Conler & Associates CPAs for sponsoring all the Periscopes. We appreciate it. Make sure you take advantage of them. They are a fantastic service, family-owned business that will help you do your taxes. Free consultation if you tell them SinBin sent you. Tomorrow, goalie interference will be on at 7 p.m. We will make sure that we are on right at 7. First time we've been on at Wednesday at 7 in a while. Plenty of Leonard talk, I'm sure. Plenty of what to do with the goalie talk, I'm sure. Please tune into that tomorrow. We will see you then.